Hello, I'm going to read this story, The Incredible Shrinking Teacher. Miss Irma Burbaum was the toughest teacher in town. But none of the children cared. It was the day before the last day of school and summer fun was on their minds. Other teachers in other classrooms were having parties, real fun parties. Miss Irma Birnbaum went on with her lessons. Spelling, reading, math. Homework for tomorrow, she announced, is to be prepared for a surprise. I bet Miss Birnbaum's surprise is a test with 101 questions, said Ruby Flint when the end of school bell rang. Miss Birnbaum is the cruelest teacher in the world, explained Johnny O'Leary. The children never would have guessed what Miss Irma Birnbaum had in store for them. A last day of school celebration. Miss Irma Birnbaum stayed late to prepare for the party. She decorated with balloons and streamers. She placed a present at each desk. She put out a special party game, pin the verb on the noun. Miss Irma Birnbaum went to the cafeteria kitchen to make her favorite party treats: prune pudding, kidney bean cookies, and Brussels sprout juice. She had to reach up high for a tray. The stool she stood on was shaky. She slipped and fell right into the prune pudding, kidney bean cookies, and Brussels sprout juice. Miss Irma Birnbaum felt funny. Her stocking started to itch. Her glasses fell off and she rubbed her eyes. Miss Irma Birnbaum put her glasses back on. What a mess, she explained, and promptly cleaned up the kitchen. She noticed something was different. Everything seemed larger. She had to push hard to open the cafeteria door. Water, said Miss Irma Birnbaum. I need a drink of water. But she was too tiny to reach the water fountain. This is incredible. I'm shrinking. A light was on in the gym. Perhaps the custodian was still in the school. The little teacher struggled to open the supply room door. Dozens of balls and bats fell on top of her. Miss Irma Birnbaum straightened herself up. She had become even smaller. I must stop shrinking before morning, or the last day of school party will be ruined. She headed for the library. Perhaps one of the books would have a solution to her unusual predicament. The library shelf seemed as tall as skyscrapers. Miss Irma Birnbaum pulled and pulled and pulled, but the books on the bottom shelves wouldn't budge. She was still shrinking. She wandered through the hallways. Finally, she arrived at the only place where an answer could be found, the classroom. Miss Irma Birnbaum carried blocks back to the science center and made a stairway. As she read her science notes, she heard a strange noise. Miss Irma Birnbaum turned around. Behind her was a giant monster. Someone had left the door to the class pet's cage open. Zippy the hamster looked very hungry. Zippy chased Miss Irma Birnbaum across the table. She ran into his cage and ran and ran and ran. Oh my goodness. Miss Irma Birnbaum ran the entire night. The sun rose and Zippy finally fell asleep. A weary Miss Irma Birnbaum staggered down the blocks. Staggered down the blocks. Tired. I am so tired. The school bell rang. Children filled the halls. Miss Irma Birnbaum, smaller than ever, was almost crushed in the crowd. Johnny O'Leary's lunch bag fell out of his backpack. A big fat chocolate cupcake landed right on top of Miss Irma Birnbaum. She thought she was done for. Something yucky is stuck on my cupcake, said Johnny. Look, yelled Ruby. It's Miss Birnbaum. Miss Irma Burbaum shouted. The children could only hear a teeny tiny whisper. Help me, help me. The children rushed her to the Principal Renfield's office. Miss Burbaum, explained the principal, where's the rest of you? The minuscule teacher slipped from Principal Renfield's hand and fell into an award-winning tropical fish aquarium. The principal thought quickly. He scooped Miss Irma Burbaum from the fish tank. A small drop of chocolate icing was still stuck on her lip. She licked it off. Miss Irma Burbaum felt funny. Her stocking started to itch. To everyone's amazement, she began to grow right in front of their very eyes. Soon, Miss Irma Burbaum was her regular size. I will never again make prune pudding, she declared. Huh? Said Johnny. Miss Burbaum used Principal Renfield's telephone to order pizza and cake to be delivered to her classroom. The children were thrilled. It was a fun-filled last day of school. Games, snacks, songs, dancing. Finally, the children opened their presents. Each one received a miniature dictionary. Miss Burbaum, said Ruby, this was the best last day of school party ever. Miss Irma Burbaum smiled. Well, I know what it's like to be little. The end. Thank you.